Hey, what's up, everybody? Benji Bruce here, and today we're going to talk about how do you find time to create content. So you're marketing yourself. You know that you got to get the word out about what you do. You know that if you create content, videos, pictures, podcasts, whatever, if you create content, you know that it's going to help you. But the problem is, how do you find time to create it? I've noticed this a lot with pretty much everybody, really. A lot of people understand, like, yeah, I should be creating videos. I should be creating podcasts. I should be creating content. I know it's going to help my business, but they just simply don't have time. They're like, you know what? I just got to do this other thing. And so they just don't have time to do it. So what do you do? Well, first thing, you got to get it right inside of your head in terms of how important this content thing is. So it's like, is it really that important in your business or not? So if it is important, then you better freaking create time for your content. So if it's not important, on the other hand, you just ignore it. Just like, I'm not doing that stuff. Who cares about creating videos and podcasts? I ain't got time for that. And so on the other hand, if it is important, you have to literally create time to create content. And so that's the first thing that you have to do. And after you decide that you're going to create time for it, then you have to make things as easy as possible. So this entire place is set up for content creation, and it is set up to make it as easy as possible with creating content. So for example, I have two different cameras right now. I'm considering buying a third one, but really my third one is my phone. So basically each camera is meant for different things. So what I used to do is I used to have one camera, and the one camera would do everything. I'd try to do like Facebook Live with it. I'd try to create content with it, and I'd do everything with this one camera, B-roll footage, everything. And so little things like taking the camera on and off the tripod, and then hooking up the audio to it again, and all sorts of stuff like that. It's annoying. Like, it just takes time and it's annoying. So I thought, how can I streamline this process? Which is why I set up the entire place and everything to be as efficient and as easy as possible. So I got a camera that was specific to Facebook Live, to where all I'm going to do with this camera is pretty much use it for live streaming. That's pretty much what this camera is going to be. So I bought a tripod, bought the camera, and now I'm just using that for live streaming. So it stays there 24/7. I don't move it around or nothing. It just stays where it is 24/7. I simply plug in the plug thingamajiggers. I plug those in, and then I start the Facebook Live, and bam, I'm good to go, right? And the same goes with the lighting, right? So the lighting system, I have a remote for the lights. So if I press the remote, poof, lights are gone. And then if I say, let there be light, poof, the light is now there, right? So I even have a remote. That way I don't have to get up and go press a button to turn it on, turn it off. Same with the actual, the camera as well. I've got a button that I press to start and stop the thing. It's all about being insanely efficient. So I start by setting up my place to where I make it as easy as possible. All I got to do is turn the on button, just turn it on, and then hit record. Bam, I'm good to go. So the easier you can make your setup, the more likely you're going to create content. If it's too hard, you're simply going to not want to do it. It's simply going to take you longer to create content. You're going to be like, I don't really feel like it. Like it'll take you a couple hours to create one video. And so when you get to that point where it takes you a couple hours to create one video, you just start to get pissed off. You're like, man, I ain't got time for that. Whereas with me, I just literally sit down in this chair, bam, I press the button to turn on the light, and then I turn on the camera, bam, press that, hit record, good to go. And I just go off and I just start riffing, and then bam, like when I'm done, hit the stop button, hit the start one to start another video, start talking again, bam, hit the stop button, start talking again. I can record just videos just nonstop all day, every day, just real quick, because everything is set up in that way. And so you want to think in terms of, if you don't have time to create content, is because one, you're not making time, and two, you're making it harder than it needs to be. Your entire area isn't set up to create content. So if you don't have like a real studio, you simply have to set up your place as a studio. You have to use like little thingamajiggers like this thing right here. You use this, and maybe you just have this set like that with your phone, and your phone is set there throughout the entire day. And then every now and again, you just hit You hit it, and then even with your phone, right? I even have a remote control for my phone to hit play and record and everything. So I would hit play, and then bam, I start talking to it. Bam, I'm done, and I get back to work. All right, bam, hit play, start talking to it. Bam, I'm done. And so you're doing things like that. You set up your environment throughout the day. Well, you just set up your environment to where throughout the day you can easily create content, and it's just natural. And I'm telling you that the harder you make it, the less likely you're going to want to create content. And so that's the mindset you have to engage in. It's one of the reasons why I tend to do all my videos in one take. Like, I'm not sitting here cutting and cutting and pasting stuff, or I do everything all in one take when I create my videos. And so if I don't do it in one take, I simply start over again. It's mostly because with the editing, like we're filming, and then with the editing, I mean, I don't want the editor to, or me or whoever, I don't want anyone to sit there and be like, all right, let me do this, let me do that. It's just going to take time cutting and adding stuff and all that. So I simply say, I'm just going to do it in one take. If I mess up a few words, who cares? People are just going to look at my pretty face anyways, right? So I'm just like, who cares if I mess up a few words? So little things like that, just making it really easy and scheduling time. That's how you're going to make time for your content. And you have to really understand, like, is content that important in your business? If it is important, if you're building a brand, if you're marketing yourself, then yes, it is important. Yes, you do have to create videos. You have to create a podcast and all that. If, on the other hand, if you're doing things like prospecting, like outreach, then it's not really all that important. You're just like, forget it. I don't need to create content. I just need to do cold calling and cold emailing. And so you just have to first understand, is it important? If it is important, then you got to think, well, how do I make the entire setup, my entire area, just really easy to create the content? And how to, like, what equipment do I need to make it really easy? And little things like that in terms of just making it really easy. Everything needs to be easy. If you make it easy, you're more likely to find time creating content. You're more likely to create content that's going to help you get the word out about what you do. So make it easy, like a boss.